Hi everybody, want to make another quick Beatles update. The reason I'm making an update so soon after the most recent one that I did was because I got a hold of something that I really wanted, and it's this. It's the Record Store Day 45, the exclusive single reissue of Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane. And the reason that I was able to get this was because my good friend Elliot picked up two copies. If I got the story right, if I remember, he found a place that had a box that came in after a record store day, and they had a couple of these in there. He bought both of them, and I was able to get it from him without, paying ridiculous eBay prices or anything. So that really made my record store day a lot brighter. If you saw my videos, it was kind of a rough record store day for me. Not so much just because the single wasn't there. I mean, I went there in the morning not even expecting it because I knew my store hadn't gotten any shipment in for this. But this really helps a lot. It was good talking to Elliot and his friend Larry. Hopefully we'll be doing some shopping together in the not too distant future. So thank you, Elliot. This really put a bright spot on that record store day fiasco. A couple other things I picked up. There's not many here in this video. I just really wanted to show the Strawberry Fields single. Oh, well, I still remember. It's weird. It's got this like a rounded top to it. It seems to be just the cardboard shape itself. Well, I like that it kind of differentiates it from the usual single, so it's so obvious this is not an original, which I like. I don't like when they make it too close that you can't tell the difference. I don't know yet if I'm going to open this just yet. Anybody out there has opened it or is going to open it, please show this. I would be very happy if you do. I'd like to see what it looks like. Yeah, so next item up, A Hard Day's Night. I have been collecting these, and the reason I say I collect them is because there's so many versions and variations of this, particularly the record label itself. This one has a hole there, which I think people say is a promotional hole. I don't know. Personally, promotional or not, I don't really care for them with the hole in there, but this was in extra good condition with the shrink wrap intact. And the reason that I picked up this particular copy was I still needed a nice copy of the yellow Starburst label. Sunburst label, I think I said Star. I'm thinking of the candy, right? Starburst, Sunburst label. And there's so many variations. I used to have all of these when I was a kid. From the black label, United Artists, to the one that was red from Canada. And there's a tan label. Then there's a pink and purple, reddish kind of label, and this one, the Sunburst. I think the first one I ever had was the one that was pink and purple. I think I got that in 75, around there. But yeah, I think that pretty much completes my Hard Day's Night UA collection. But for some reason, I'm really into this album, so I buy a lot of copies of it. It's one of my favorites. Okay, this is kind of a repeat copy, but not exactly, and I'll tell you why. This is still in shrink, the Beatles 1980 Rarities album. This is good because not only the shrink is on it, but it also has the sticker that says it has rare photos, including the Butcher shot, even though the sticker there is a little worn on the corner. Because back then it was really not the easiest thing in the world to get a chance to see the Butcher shot. And, this picture is not really raised on here because it's a second edition of this. The first edition omitted, by accident, producer George Martin's name. Can you imagine? So they reissued it, and on the bottom you can see now that it says produced by George Martin in black lettering down there. But also they made a correction, because in the song Helter Skelter here, they have a description where they said originally that John Lennon made the statement, "I've got blisters on my fingers," when really it's Ringo. So they kind of corrected that and took Lennon's name off it for the second one. So I already have this sealed in the shrink with a nice sticker here. But what makes it kind of nice both ways is because that one is the first pressing. It has the raised picture on the cover, and also does does not say produced by George Martin, whereas this one does. So if I'm going to get it twice, this is going to be my playing copy. I can play this one because it's open. If I'm going to get it twice, might as well get one with the first press and one with the second press, with the one with the George Martin credit and one without. Okay, now we're going to go over to a CD. This was released in 1989 by Rhino, It's a really nice collection called Starstruck. There's also a vinyl of this, and it's basically Ringo's songs from like the mid to late 70s and early 80s. There's a picture of Ringo there when he did albums like Rotogravure and the Bad Boy album and Ringo the Fourth, Stop and Smell the Roses, all the way up to the Old Wave album in 1983. There's a inside picture of Ringo. That's a common shot. And the booklet comes out there, and we treat it to a picture of Ringo there. And also, we open it up a little further, we get yet another picture of Mr. Starkey. And I had this is back in the original collection, and now it's back again in my present collection. Okay. Here's another Ringo CD. This is one that I needed. I got it used. It's Ringo and his All-Star Band. It says the Tour 2003 on here. And as you can see, it's got these ridiculous stickers on here. I will put this in a new jewel case. But for now, I'm just showing it to you this way. And this was a nice lineup. I mean, in this one you had Colin Hay from Men at Work. You had Paul Carrick. You had Sheila E., John Waite, and Mark Rivera. This was a good one. So, peace and love. No autographs. Peace. Can't resist. Okay, last item for this video is a really cool tour book that somehow I never picked up back in 1995 because I saw this tour and it was maybe my personal favorite of all Ringo's tour lineups, the All-Star Band. And you got among the stars there, you got Billy Preston, you got Felix Cavaliere from the Rascals, you got Zach Starkey there, Ringo's son playing alongside with his dad, Mark Rivera on the end. Over here you got Randy Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive, some guy called Ringo there. Over here, Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad, and John Entwistle from The Who. And that was a real kick, being able to at least say I saw him do Boris the Spider. So, some nice pages in here. Got some early Beatle photos there. It's funny, there's Ringo with his long hair. This is right around the time of the anthology as well. Ringo has long hair in the scenes of the anthology reunion. And when I actually got to see him in person outside his hotel, although unfortunately he just went right in and wouldn't sign autographs. Peace and love, no autographs. That's the way he looked when I saw him with this hair. It's pretty. Last time he looks like hippie Ringo, if you will. You got John Entwistle. You got Randy Bachman, Felix Cavaliere, Mark Farner, and Billy Preston. So many of these guys passed on. Mark Rivera and Zach Starkey. Yeah, this was Ringo's last hippie look, as I say. And after this, he got the look we know now. From 1998 to now, that's almost 20 straight years pretty soon. He's got that buzzed look, but it works for him, and it's pretty good for an older man. And he looks a little silly like this today, right? Anyway, that's it, folks. Take care, and thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch.